for the label. Beatmakers claiming impropriety from artists and labels is anything but new. So how can a producer not get screwed?
This is an industry that asks artists to make tremendously important short-term decisions that have very long-term consequences.
That's Elliot Resnick, an entertainment attorney who's worked with Lil Jon, Snoop Dogg, and currently represents Run the Jewels, amongst others. Some of the issues stem from the distinctions between mixtapes and albums. Labels officially release albums, but benefit from an artist building their cachet with successful mixtapes. However, the label may not afford the same budget to a mixtape that they would an album, leaving less money to divvy out to producers. For a producer, payment often comes from an advance, money a label can pay upfront for a song. However, that money must be paid back with the sales of the record. Only after the label has been satisfied can a producer begin to receive royalties. Royalty payments can be split into three areas: mechanical royalties, covering the physical creation of tracks on CDs or records, airplay for digital streams and radio spins, and synchronization for when a song is linked to a TV show, film, or commercial.
So the more advanced that you take, the greater the burden that you have to bear in terms of recoupment to get your royalty. Take the smaller advance, it gives you a fighting chance at getting a royalty.
And while this might sound complicated, Resnick says most producer deals aren't that complex.
But there are very basic parameters inside a producer deal that every producer should know. What am I getting paid up front? What is my royalty? What is my credit? What is my publishing interest? And what is the rate of my publishing?
To protect themselves, producers and rappers must learn about the business of music. Or they could find someone with expertise, like a good lawyer, manager, and publisher. To recap, here's how not to get screwed. Figure out where the song might land. A major label may give an album a budget, but not necessarily a mixtape. Find a good lawyer and be clear in your legal agreement on your rate and who's paying you, the artist or their label, and how it will be recouped. Get it all in writing. If you can take a smaller advance, you'll get your royalty money faster, but that doesn't promise any specific amount. That all depends on sales and streaming. Find a good publisher that values your strengths and pairs you with the right artists. Know your worth. Even though it might be necessary to build your relationship with an artist through free beats, make a plan for when you're ready to charge them. Research the music business you're trying to work in by reading everything. And finally, don't trust that someone else has your best interest at heart, even if they're your friends, because
industry rule number 4080, record company people are shady.
What's up, guys? It's J-Rax. So I wanted to pull up this interview because, especially for me, I'm a new producer. I definitely don't know a lot. I'm new with the music industry in general. I don't know a lot about what's going on. I definitely knew before I stepped into the game that it was really easy for producers and artists to get fucked over by major labels. Now, that's one big thing that everybody has to be aware of making music. The title of this video is probably going to be things you need to know to be a producer, but this kind of applies to everybody. You just need to know the music industry in and out in order to leverage yourself the best way possible. The less you know about the music industry, the more someone can hold on you. For example, when I first started rapping, I would just go to studios, make songs. I literally wasted all my money going to studios and wasting songs. I feel like some of the engineers knew I was a beginner just from how I acted or whatever, and I got treated, I'm not gonna say I got treated badly, but I definitely got finessed a couple of times. And I'll take the L for that. It's whatever. We gotta live and we gotta learn. But if you don't know all the ins and outs of the music industry, it's so much easier to get finessed over and over and over. But if you know everything or you know a lot about what you're talking about, then it's really hard for somebody to pull something over on you. When you're working with artists, I understand that you have to give out free beats sometimes, or a lot of the time. But if you give out free beats, you have to connect with that artist. You have to talk with them, and you have to know when that song is dropping. You have to get your royalties. You have to get your percentage split. You have to have your name on their album, on the credits. You have to know all this stuff, because I know it's so easy for somebody to get ripped off in the music industry. Now, if you're coming from a place where you've never sold a beat before and you just want people to hop on your beat, you don't care about people paying you, then yes, you could give out a free beat. You might not care if somebody takes your beat and puts it on SoundCloud. But in the long-term picture of things, that song that somebody took 2 years ago or whatever, that beat that somebody took 2 years ago, it's gonna get a lot more views in the future. As a producer, you have to have your whole portfolio organized. By portfolio, I don't mean an actual portfolio that has every single song you ever written on it. Maybe you want to do that. That could be very beneficial for you. But what I'm talking about is you have to know where your beats are at. You have to know who rapped on your beats. You have to know what album your beat is on. It makes you look better as a producer, and it's going to help you in the long run be more organized and keep track of everything. As a producer, you need to know everything about the music industry. You need to know exactly how your contract is set up if you sign something. If you sign anything, you need a lawyer or somebody professional there to help you through it. Because if I had a record label come to me right now and there was a piece of paper here and I had to sign, I would have no idea what's going on. And I would probably fuck myself up because I started signing some shit that I didn't know. You have to know your worth also. I understand you have to give out free beats here and there, but you have to have a plan for when you want to charge these people or how you're going to get your money. Because if the word on the street is all you do is give out free beats, then nobody's going to want to pay you. Don't think just because you're not a huge producer, you don't deserve the money, because you definitely do. This is your time that you put into it. You deserve the money. And with the way that everything works, if you don't sell this beat right now, maybe 4 years down the line, you'll meet an artist that's actually serious and he'll go through your catalog. That might be the next hit record. So it might suck not being able to sell a bunch of beats right now, but in the long picture of things, would you rather give out all these beats for free and have no idea and no control about what's happening, or wait some time for the possibility that one day you could have a way better outcome for your beat and that song that was produced on your beat? Think about this. TM88 never saw money for XL Tour Life. That's crazy. You know how big that song is? I know my senior year in high school, that was the biggest song that I ever heard. I never understood how a song could be so big until I heard that song. But that really goes to show you how much you have to know this music industry and how much you have to work it for your own behalf. So that's it for the video. I hope somebody learned something valuable. I hope you got some tips, and I hope that you implement these strategies and these tips into your own career so that you never get finessed, because that shit sucks. Alright, I'm J-Rax and I'm out of here. Link in the description for more articles and blogs for rappers, artists, producers, business owners, anybody that wants to grow. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.